Hello and welcome to Reddit Tell All. Today's story is only a short one, but I read the story and I just felt kind of sad for the OP, and I know that it must be a really tough situation that she's in, so I wanted to cover this story. As I said, it is only a short one today, but I hope you enjoy, and let's just get straight on with it. I'm leaving my husband because he's not upholding his part of the deal. My husband and I got married pretty young, 23, and we have been through a lot together. But I would say that our biggest struggles have been our careers and deciding on which paths to take. By the time we were 23, neither of us had graduated college yet, because college and life is expensive and we don't come from money. We both had to choose between working to survive and working to further our education on multiple occasions, ultimately setting us back in college many times. My husband was working dangerous situations in construction at that time, and I was working dead-end retail jobs. So one day we sat down with each other and really discussed what we wanted for our future and our life, and all of it came down to us bettering our lives, which came to furthering and completing our education. So I decided then that because we still needed to survive, I would work to provide for us while my husband focused on earning his environmental engineering degree, since he only had 3 years left for his degree versus my year left in undergrad and 4 years for med school. So we came to an agreement that he would solely focus on finishing his degree so that he could in turn provide for us while I focused on med school solely down the line. He finished and earned his bachelor's, as did I. I went at my own pace, taking the bit of classes I had left here and there, while working full-time as a caregiver to earn a living. I was so proud of him, and even prouder when he landed his dream job at a great company many months later. The job he landed is in his field, it pays amazingly and offers great benefits. I gave it the 90-day provisional trial to see how my husband meshed with the company and to see how things were for him before I even brought up the possibility of me continuing my education. After the 90 days, I sat my husband down to talk to him about the plans I have to continue on to med school. He convinced me to give us a couple of months to set up a rainy day fund, just in case we needed it before I quit my job, which I fully understood. 6 months went by and our rainy day fund is pretty well padded. So I again talked to him about school plans, and he begins to say that he wants to start a family now and doesn't think we could work out starting a family and all my attention being on med school. We have talked about starting a family, but once both of us were in the fields that we wanted. So I reminded him what we agreed upon, and he told me, well, I think right now is the perfect time to start a family, and I want one. So if you choose to go to school over our family, I'll be forced to part my ways with you. I stood there in complete shock of what he said to me, but ultimately decided that I love my husband, but not enough to give up on my education or goals. So I'm giving into his ultimatum and parting my ways. So as I said, that was just a short story, but I do think it's really sad, and if having a family was so important, maybe She should have done her education first. It's really sad that she obviously loves him because she says it right at the end, but she has to decide between starting a family and her education, and in turn her life, because say something happens to him, not necessarily, I mean, it could be a divorce, or worst case scenario, he dies or something. She's still got to support herself and then a family. And she really does need to look at doing her education if that's the most important thing to her at this moment. Because once you have a family, it's going to be even trickier. It's not necessarily completely out of reach. There are a ton of people that have a young family and still go on to education, but I would imagine it's very, very tough. And also, you kind of want to be there for your child. I do think it's very unfair that she has supported him whilst he was doing his career, and then when the tables are turned, he's then not willing to support her. And I know 4 years, when you are wanting to start a family, 4 years is a long time. She doesn't actually mention her age now. She mentioned that they were 23 when they got married, but nowhere does it say how long they've been together. I would say she's probably late 20s, possibly even early 30s. So I know it's not unheard of having children now at 40, but it does get trickier as you get older. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one, and she's got to do what's best for her. And I really hope this woman does an update, because I would love to see whether her husband changed his mind when she gave him the ultimatum, or whether they are really going to part ways. I looked through some of the comments to see if she had responded to any of the comments to add a little bit more to the story, but she hasn't commented, and this is a throwaway account, so I'm not sure whether we'll get an update or not. I really hope so. I would really just like to see where this story ends, because I feel like we're just stuck in the mid-cycle. But let me know what you think about today's story, and do you think that she's doing the right thing in leaving her husband to better herself and go their separate ways? Or do you think that she should or could start a family and then do her education after? I would love to know what you think about this. If you do like this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll see you very soon.